Alright, Fright fans, it's time now for the #1 movie on my Vincent Price Top 10 Film Countdown, and the #1 film is House of Wax. Some of you out there probably guessed it, House of Wax, made in 1953. This is the movie that established Vincent Price as a horror star because this is the first horror movie that Vincent made. Before this, he had done some suspense films, some romance, different action, different type things, but he had never made a true horror movie until this. And after this, it set the pathway for the Vincent Price that we all know and love. Now, House of Wax, 1953, stars Vincent Price as Henry Jared, the owner, operator of a wax museum. His partner suggests that they burn the wax museum for the insurance money because they're just not pulling in the kind of profits that he would like to see.
How would you like to split $25,000 with me?
Did you call me crazy?
You ever thought of what would happen if we had a fire here?
Of course, Mr. Jared, who loves his sculptures as if they were his own children, protests. The two get into a fight, and Henry Jared is knocked unconscious and left for dead in the burning building. Shortly thereafter, a dark-clad, mysterious, horribly scarred figure tracks down and murders Vincent's partner. Could this be Vincent Price? But wait a second, it can't be Jared because we see him shortly thereafter. He has re-emerged as the owner and operator of a new House of Wax, and he looks perfectly normal, with the exception of he's in a wheelchair and his hands have been destroyed in the fire.
As for my hands, they are no use to me now. As a sculptor, I can't control them, but they serve for ordinary function.
How is he still able to sculpt? He's able to sculpt with the help of his mute assistant, who is played by none other than Charles Bronson.
How do you do? I received a letter giving this address and signed Professor Jarrett, but I know the professor's dead.
This time, Vincent has turned from the figures, the historical figures that he had in his previous museum, and he's showing a regular chamber of horrors this time.
I'm rebuilding my exhibition from the ground up. I'm going to give the people what they want. Sensation, horror, shock. Send them out in the streets to tell their friends how wonderful it is to be scared.
Now, when this movie was released, it was also released in the gimmick of 3D. This was a fairly new process at that time, and it really drew the people into the movie theater. It got kind of mixed reviews. Some people loved it, some people didn't, kind of like horror movies of today, but the 3D was actually pretty eye-catching. There are some scenes in here that are shot just for 3D, such as the famous paddle sequence.
Well, there's someone with a bag of popcorn. Close your mouth, it's the bag I'm aiming at, not your tonsils. Here she comes.
And I have to say that one of the reasons why I love this movie so much is because I had the pleasure of seeing this in 3D when I was a kid. My brother and I actually heard that the movie was on. This was probably in the early 80s. We got on the city bus, rode across town, and caught this movie in 3D. And to this day, that's one of my fond memories of Vincent Price, and probably one of the reasons why I'm such a Vincent Price fanatic. So anyway, this is the #1 movie on our top 10 Vincent Price Film Countdown. I hope you guys enjoyed it and agree with me. And whether you do or don't, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think is the best Vincent Price film of all time. And until next time, this is Dr. Gangrene, out of makeup, saying stay mad, and we'll see you back here for more top 10 countdowns.